Josh Darrow, man size, as you can tell. Like I said, I feel like I'm flying on an airplane. Coach, I'm in the middle. He's at the window. We're the aisle. And I'm stuck in between.
I need the aisle seat. I got a long place.
Yeah, honestly. Yeah, but I am in the middle. I feel like I am in the middle. All right, a lot of big district games. JT sees all the teams as well as the rest of our staff. These two games, I should say, 4 teams. We will have highlights from, but let's take a look on the preview side. And let's start with Hialeah and North Miami. Would have anybody... Larry Bluestein should have been here this week to pump up the alma mater, the Pioneers. Undefeated, taking on a Hialeah team whose defense...
Not undefeated anymore. They lost to Coral Reef.
Oh, lost to Coral Reef, right. Undefeated going into the Coral Reef game. But a Hialeah team who's got offensive firepower, and in the games they've won, they've shut out their opponents.
Yes, and this is another great game. This is a Larry Bluestein special. Because he's North Miami alum and he's great friends with Hialeah coach Mark Berman. So he said he's going to be at this game. So it's going to be a big one. You look at it, North Miami has surprised every single person in Dade County this season with the way they performed under Coach Williams. You think about with what they've done with Stanley Clairvaux, USF commit, not Stephen Claude on the outside. He's from Champaign.
Yeah.
Right? So, but they have a lot of great players around them. Eric Rico on the offensive line is doing a great job for them as well. The key will be is that they play a physical brand of football, and will they be able to stay mistake-free, which they weren't able to do against Miami Beach a couple weeks ago. Can they stay mistake-free and win this big district matchup? Hialeah on the other side kind of underachieves a little bit, but they still have so many talented players on their team that they're a dangerous team no matter what. Alan Edward at quarterback. You have Henry Bussey at running back, and you have Alik Terry on the offensive line, anchoring the offensive line. So with players like that, Hialeah is always going to be in the mix. The key will be, can they put it all together? All the pieces that they have, can they do that and get this big district win and win it for the first time?
I actually talked to Coach Berman today, and he's been actually happy with the way his defense has been playing. And I know North Miami has those offensive weapons, so certainly that'll be a matchup. Alan Edward is a quarterback that can do everything. And but yeah, even Larry Bluestein wouldn't sit here and say, I saw the Pioneers doing what we were doing.
Definitely. They're 6-1, Hialeah's 4-2. Both of them are MST, South Florida High School Sports top 20 teams. So it's a big matchup.
All right, and then I might have misspoke earlier. I'm a 1A and 1B in terms of games of the week. This is the Saturday night special. Gibbons got to come down to Trask Powell in the heart of the 305.
Get those GPS out.
Yeah, to take on Miami Jackson. And we've been tracking Jackson a lot just because of the teams they've been playing. Gibbons now is going to hit the heart of their schedule to get out of the district and get to the playoffs. Gibbons puts up points. We know what Jackson has. It all starts with their quarterback and Mr. Winky Flowers.
Definitely. And there we talked about the battle of the backs during week 1. We had Sonny Michelle take on Central, Dalvin Cook, and Joe Yerby. This is the battle of the quarterbacks with Cardinal Gibbons, Peyton Bender, Jackson's Quentin Winky Flowers. You may not find 2 better signal callers in the state going up against each other in that particular night. Peyton Bender, Washington State commit, he's been able to spread the ball around. He's got some great weapons on the outside. Christian Blake, Trevin Lee, George Rushing, who was leading Broward County in receiving so far this season. They're going to test this Jackson secondary because they don't have just 1 or 2 guys. They have 4 guys that can spread this Jackson team out on the defensive end and really test what they're able to do back there. I know Quentin has been forced to play a little defensive back.
Yes, he has.
So we may see he's going to be back there, and he's going to be going up against some top-end competition because all 4 of those Cardinal Gibbons receivers are committed to D1 colleges. So Jackson what they have to do is shake off that loss of Heritage, shake off the loss of South Dade, and get this win to get right back in that district race.
I think you found with Jackson as they start to play teams that have multiple weapons and more scoring power, it puts a lot on Mr. Flowers. Because then he starts also playing defense, and by the end of the games, he's gassed. They do have Juwan Durant at the receiver, Timmy Bellinger, but Coach Brown asks a lot of his quarterback. Sometimes it's just hard when you're playing teams that have, you look at South Dade, have 4 or 5 receivers, running back, a quarterback. Cardinal Gibbons is almost set up the same way.
Exact same way. Now, the thing is, South Dade was able to really tower over them. They have a lot of bigger receivers, whereas Cardinal Gibbons have a lot of guys in that 6'5", 11" range, but all of them are talented and they can really catch the ball.
All right, so it'll be an interesting matchup Saturday night at Trask Powell as Gibbons looks to keep their season clean, but the competition gets a little stiffer against Jackson. And then Hialeah, North Miami, it's got district implications written all over it. We'll be at both those games. For JT Wilcox, Josh Darrow, another edition of the AutoNation Gridiron Report here on SouthFloridaHighSchoolSports.com.